when I got started, I thought like everybody else, you have to use a bank or you're looking for just pure seller financing or whatever. And what I realized was that banks had, in my first 2 or 3 deals we did with small local banks, and they funded them for me. And, I realized that the banks weren't going to let me borrow as much money for as many houses as I needed to create the life I wanted to do. So I learned about subject to, and I was just like everybody else. I said, my goodness, nobody's going to do this. But, I was doing the marketing. I called FSBOs. I put out bandit signs, and I had a guy call me on a bandit sign. And he said, hey, I've got this new house out here. I really need to sell it. I'm getting a divorce. I can't make the payments on my own. I'm not behind right now, but I don't want to get behind and ruin my credit. He was 21 years old. He and his wife had only been married for a year. They had a baby. His family had gifted him $5,000 to buy a brand new house in a new subdivision. I drove out there. There was not a stick of furniture in this house. There was a mattress in the master bedroom and a telephone sitting on the floor. And so, I said, well, I can probably take over your payments subject to, and we'll probably put it in a trust. I told him way too much information. And when I got through with this long spiel, I didn't know what I was talking about. He said, okay, let's do it. And we're trying to figure out the paperwork together on his kitchen counter. It was really comical. But in the end, I was really anxious about getting it sold. And so I financed it at only like 1.5% over my rate. And I paid half the closing cost. I was a super motivated seller because I was nervous. But we got a $13,000 down payment from a buyer. They refinanced us in 27 months, I think it was. And I made $27,000 off that first deal. It was really embarrassing. I wish at the time they had video cameras and GoPros and that sort of thing. It was really comical, but it worked. I was lucky enough the first time I pitched it, I was in front of a motivated seller, and it really worked out. So.